spreads, totals, props. Lots of ways to win money, but also lots of ways to lose. It's time for some sharp analysis. All sports, all over the globe, all the time. Home of the Guest Bettor jackpot, it's CorBET. Here is your host, Dylan Corbett.
All right, welcome in. Make sure to check out Corbett's Corner, a real fun edition. We got 5 different voices there for you. Live reaction from a wild card weekend and some cashing here to do on a Monday. It's the national title game. Matt cruising with me. I'm Dylan Corbett. So here's what we're going to do with the Guest Bettors is Monday. That's the new Guest Bettor day. They'll try and go the full 7 days, right? If they don't, me and Matt will carry you throughout the rest of the week and then get a new guy in there on Monday. Michael Soteno is going to be our official Guest Bettor for this week. He will get started today, and he'll be at the end of this podcast. But first, we got college hoops. What, a little rematch here in the Valley? How about Bradley Braves here for Matt Cruzen?
Yeah, so keep this real short, sweet. I did bet them yesterday, and they did not win. It was a line that did worry me a little bit. They were coming off a 19-day layoff. And before you say, oh, you're just betting a homer, blah, blah, not you, but anyone.
Sure.
I will say this. If Bradley won yesterday, I would not be betting them today. Back-to-backs, a lot of these you've been seeing splits. And then the alternative, if not splits, then team who didn't cover one day is covering the next. We're seeing a lot of split covers at least. So I checked this morning. I saw in Bradley was about plus 1.5, and I took him on the money line, and now that's at a pick 'em. I think that'll get all the way to Bradley -1, -1.5. Bottom line, these games are hard to win 2 in a row. I think Bradley's a better team. I say that as a Bradley fan and alum, but also as, a team that's watched or a fan that's watched these guys play closely. You and I had lost 3 straight, so it was a back against the wall game for them yesterday, even early on in conference play. I think Bradley gets it done tonight.
Yeah, you touched on it. I hate the back-to-backs, but there is some opportunity there. It's one team covers one time, the other team covers the next. Same with the over-unders. There's a lot of pattern to it. So you're riding with the Braves. I think Sharp Money is riding with you as well as you're seeing with that line movement. I've got an afternoon college hoops play, but we're going to be posting this probably in the evening, so I'll just lay off that. Let's get to tennis. Oh, hello, darkness, my old friend. I like Cameron Norrie plus 110 here in the matchup. I like actually a pair of dogs. Sebastian Korda plus 110. His matchup against John Isner, all day Isner. Korda is actually 1-0 in that matchup. So I'm playing a couple of 110 dogs there in the land of tennis. And now I'm making my play here for the official prop god of the NBA. I've been crushing Ty and Seabass in DraftKings, so I figured, okay, maybe I'll try and win some money on some NBA props, right? Here we go. The audition. 3 plays for you. Nikola Vucevic, right? The great Orlando center, over 9.5 rebounds. Okay, there's 1. Gordon Hayward facing the Knicks. I like him to go over his points total, 19.5. He's coming off a bad game. I think he bounced back in a big way. He scored 44 a couple games back. And in that same game, I like PJ Washington. Remember the former Kentucky Wildcat, over 6.5 rebounds. That's at plus 100. Okay, the title game. I'm sitting on an Alabama future, not a great one, plus 120. We'll take it. The line is getting big. I'm thinking about Ohio State. I've been hinting at that. Matt, you actually took it?
Yeah, plus 9. I said this in Corbett's Corner that dropped today. I thought Clemson, Alabama were in a tier of their own. Ohio State showed me that they are right there in that tier. And guess what I'm getting at is had Clemson won that game like I expected, I would have been all over Clemson here too. I think Alabama is vulnerable. Yes, they have Mac Jones. They have Devontae Smith. They have Najee Harris. They have an explosive offense. They might have Jalen Waddle back today. Ohio State's pretty damn good themselves. They're pretty explosive themselves. And I think their defense is right there. This Alabama defense is not amazing. And, maybe they took the foot off the gas against Notre Dame. Maybe they didn't. But what they did do was score only 31 points. So take that for what it is. Justin Fields plays really well. He's going to be a top 5 draft pick, most likely. And then my other play in this game is first half over 38. In the last 2 title games, specifically LSU last year and Clemson Bama the year before, so many fucking points in the first half. And then after halftime, the defense is adjusted a little bit, slowed it down. So I think 76, I do think it could go full game over. That's just a ton of points. 38 in the first half, I mean, that's 21-21, and we're there. So that's very doable for these two offenses. I mean, it could hit in the first quarter, honestly. So I'm going first half over, full game, +9 Ohio State. And I would not be surprised at all if Ohio State is raising the trophy. I would not.
Yeah, I'm expecting a close game. I'm going to kind of see if there's any late movement on that number before placing a total on the side, or a bet on the side, I should say. But I already did place a bet on the total. Let's go over. I'm falling for it. Both stock watches here for Jones and Fields. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. Let's hope for a shootout. Football loves their shootout lately. They've been tailoring the rules to the offense. This is an astronomical number. But let's hope for a crazy game in the 30s and the 40s and get this over first half and the full game. So I got it at 75.5. All right, so that'll do it for us, as we've got a CorBET corner out that you should check out. I encourage you to do so. This is CorBET, which will be dropping this evening. Enjoy the national championship. We've got Michael Soteno here. Let's see what his plays are for the evening. All right, welcome in. We've got our guest bettor here, Michael Soteno. Mikey, good to get you on, and you came in guns a-blazing. We're getting this in right before the national title game. That's where your plays are heading, and let's start with it. You like Alabama tonight, but then you also got a couple of props. Let's run through the card here to get you started on a Monday.
Right, Dill. Good to be here. Thanks for having me. Just right out of the gate, this game is going to be all fireworks. Both these offenses are just top tier versus what their defenses can handle. I think that Alabama starts off firing just right out of the gate. Ohio State, much respect to them. They have totally just manhandled Clemson. That wasn't out of nowhere, and a lot of people have predicted that. I'm with the public on this one. Do like to fade the public, obviously, but it's Alabama tonight. Right. I have them first half minus 4.5. I almost also had the game. I took an early line at -7. I have a stacked card here with it's stacked as Alabama with 5 units at the money line, and I have 3 units at the -7. So at some point, I don't know where the tide will turn and going into the third quarter, fourth quarter. There's going to be a momentum switches, I assume. Justin Fields is going to have to throw this ball. So there's going to be plenty of attempts, plenty of completions. I know he's a little banged up, but I'll take 80-90% Justin Fields any day as far as attempts and yards as well as touchdowns. So looking at some of his stats this year. So what I was able to find was that any game where he had at least 28 attempts, he had at least 300 passing yards. So that speaks for itself. I think he's going to be well over 28. I mean, he's going to have to throw this ball 30-35 times this game just to keep up with that Alabama offense. So like I said before, it's going to be all offense. Hoping for an exciting game here. I think that's how the game script's going to fly.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on the over, so I'm hoping for offense. I'm also sitting on an Alabama future, so I like where this card's headed. You've got 5 units on the Alabama money line. You got that at -265. Alabama -7. Again, you jumped on them early. First half -4.5. That's just for 1 unit. And then the Justin Fields props. I like it. All right, excited to see how the national title turns out and how this card turns out, Mikey. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Let's cash.
Let's cash.